いいのか。あれ敵なのか。これ敵なのかな。飛空艇の電気を取りに行こうって話だっけ。そういえば。で、町にはなくて別の拠点ならあると。でも別の拠点には人が住んでいるから、その人たちを追い出して電気を取ると。これ復活しないのか。確かサイドクエストもやろうとしてたな、これ。登れないか。まだ弱んのここ。50メートル先。どこだ。どうやって入んだ。こっからか。機械工学入門借りた。無線調子が悪く何歳資料が必要だった。管理室に研究していた。終わったくれて体育館ら。なんかいっぱいアイテムあるな。宇宙船の模型何も見てなかった今。なんて書いてあった今。重要アイテムか。重要アイテム出ちゃう。消耗品何入れとこう。仲間能力って何。あれ模型どこだ。これか。このジャンクはなんかいずれ使うんだろうな。
Once we do this, there's no going back.
ああ、そういうことか。
Hey, listen. Sorry, I know you're in a hurry. I know you want your power regulator and all. I just feel like we should go talk to Adelaide. If we're gonna kill her power, least we could do is give her people a fair warning. Oh, well, thanks. I mean, you're welcome. But I mean, I appreciate you hearing me out.
じゃあ話つけに行くか。もちろん大きしてもいいな。
Where are we headed? That's on account of how I never met her.
お母さん死んだってことか。
I don't rightly know. She was in another division of the Spacer's Choice family. She worked in the Vale a few months, sorting the cannery computers. Her contract said any kids she had, expected or not, belonged to her office from the time of conception. So when I was born, I got sent here. Could be. Reckon I'll never know. You mean about the mission being too clean? I know, but Vicker says the universe is a machine, that it runs by law. Real machines have gunked up oil, scratches, and worn bits. You can tell they've seen handling, been used by folk. The machine Vicker sees is one ain't never been run. It's not for people to live in. It's something on a museum shelf, under glass. Fixing the universe is a job for somebody way better than the likes of me. Sorry. I know it's none of my business.
もしかして俺なんかすっ飛ばしてるかなんか。
It's not like I think it a failing, mind. It's just I live right across the road. Most nights I watch folks out my window. When they come in here, they might be happy or sad. Mostly they're tired. When they leave, they're mad at themselves. Or they stumble into the alley and I listen to their hearts breaking. Am I? Well, it's just normal to me. Why isn't everybody else, I wonder?
仕事に戻ろう。これで終わりだよな。終わりではないけど。話つきに行くかじゃあ。右に走れんだな、スタミナないか。
Move along, stranger. We don't want any trouble. I don't know you. Whatever you're looking for, it ain't here. Move along. Answers, huh? You must be one of those philosophicals. Already got ourselves one of those. Yeah, that's us. And you can tell Thompson we're doing just fine by ourselves.
ちょっとうるさかったかな。
If you're gonna start wandering around my camp, know that I got my sights on you.
アデレータどこに
Over in the hothouse, tending crop.
落ち着いて
Enough with the questions. No offense, but I've got a lot on my mind. Well, look at you. Buzzing around the aether with your very own ship. Rest of us gotta make do with the ground at our feet. No, I'm sorry. That was unworthy of me. Lady named Zoe went missing some nights ago. Just up and vanished without a trace. Now I'm pacing around wondering if marauders got to her. I've crossed off my share of marauders. This ain't about them. I go looking for Zoe, I leave the camp undefended, seeing as I'm the only one of us who knows her way around a gun. Hence my
要は
dilemma.
拉致された子を探しに行けと。
Vex me. If she told anybody, they ain't telling me. I'd check her room, but I got yelled at for snooping once already. Well, enough to know we never got on. Zoe and Stefan were close. If anybody
Stefan.
knows the workings of her mind, he does. She was lazy and thoughtless, but she's still one of our own. Could be. Dangers aplenty out there. No telling why marauders would steal somebody like Zoe. Got no useful skill as far as I could tell. Marauder gang just moved into the districts a little ways east. Their numbers are growing.
拠点があるんだ。
Gotta come from somewhere.
略奪者に。
It's not like Zoe to go wandering. Figured she might be out scavenging, but that ain't exactly her talent. Can't imagine where she's gone. Vale's a wide place. She could be anywhere.
ゾイの家で手がかりを探せ。心配ながら見つ
Appreciate
け
it.
るよ。
Honest. I'll tell you what I can. What is it?
話題な、話題は。さてと。まあ、まず会いに行くか。アデレートか。
If you're hungry, there's meat turning on the spit outside. If you're bearing illness, find a place to lay your head down and I'll fetch you a poultice. Whatever your troubles with Edgewater, leave them at the gates and be welcomed here. Any questions, dear? I have been called that, among other things. Green Thumb, grandmother, the strange old lady who keeps flowers. But yes, Adelaide will do just fine.
Excuse me, Miss McDevitt? Sorry, it's just... You got such
通り
pretty
過ぎる
trees in
の
here.
か。なんか通り過ぎ。
Why, thank you. You're Robert's girl, aren't you? I remember when you were but a sprout. Thomas speaks of you often. Are you staying long? You should try some of my tobaccorn tea. I brew it in an old spittoon, but it's been cleaned.
リードにあんたその和解を依頼された。
Reed Thompson? You here on behalf of that cold-eyed reptile? Let's hear it. What's Reed's idea of peace, then?
完全部工場へ戻ってこい。
Like everything else that comes out of Edgewater, that peace offering is canned. I and my own are living just fine out here by ourselves. He would do such a thing. The question is, why would you agree to his plans? Cannery's got a regulator. You want ship parts, you ought to rip him out of the cannery's guts and leave us be. If you're going down to the plant, you should divert power away from Edgewater and toward our end of the grid. Think about it. You'd be liberating an entire town from a lifetime of service to that odious cannery. Seems the sort of thing a hero would do. You've seen that miserable excuse for a town with your own lamps. Hollowed out workers laboring their lives away at the cannery, living off whatever scrap Spacer's choice throws them. You know that's true, don't you, Ms. Holcomb? Your father died of overwork. His heart gave out.
He was tired all the time, sure, but he was old, ma'am, and he raised me all by his lonesome.
Look what they did to this child. Lost her family to the company, and still she defends them.
生活の活用を得ようと努力する人々に何の力があるんだ。
It's not much of a living. Every single person in that town has sold themselves to Spacer's Choice. The company owns them. Body, blood, and bones. You've been there. You've seen it. All anyone ever does is toil over a cannery. They give their lives for some heartless corporation, and then they're tossed into a Spacer's Choice brand cemetery. Life in Edgewater grinds to a halt. The cannery shuts down, workers desert in droves, and our own little camp grows and thrives. You bring power to Reed's town and you'll be killing us. Reed knows it. He's counting on it.
考えておこ
I trust you will listen to your conscience.
う。うわ、いきなりあれだよな。どっちを救うかみたいな感じだな。
Oh, that's Thomas. He used to follow me around before he left the cannery.
トーマスどれ？トーマスってどれ？脱走者。トーマス。
Oh, didn't see you there. I was just occupying myself with a little engineering. Whoa, Miss Parvati. Hey, you're, what, how are you? Hi. Hello.
Are you, are things safe out here? How are you keeping?
Great, just great. I've been trying to keep stuff running, just like you. Only I'm not so... Wait, they didn't kick you out, did they?
Oh gosh, no, I'm just along with this fella here.
Are you from town? I mean, you don't exactly look like you're from town. Never heard it phrased in such a way before. I guess we're all trying to get our ships off the ground, ain't we? Sorry, I just wasn't sure if you were from town or if you were one of us. Something's been chewing at me, you see. Fact is, I've been, well, lying. To everybody here. Camp thinks I'm a mechanical genius, but I couldn't fix a busted chair.
エンジニアリング語が輝くここで。
I'll take all the help I can get. I set my mind to learning the craft of the engineer, you see. I want to make something of myself. You ever heard of the Young Spacer's Guide to Mechanical Engineering? Comes in a set of 3. If I had my hands on one of those data pads, I could teach myself the ins and outs.
Those are good. My dad kept a copy with him when he was working in the cannery.
I know the old community center kept a copy. Should find another one back in town. If you could find me even one of those pads, I'd be greatly obliged. No kidding! Really? Well, which one? Look at that! Building a computing machine out of Spectrum potatoes, a primer. I'm just glad it survived all these years. I appreciate you going through all that trouble. In fact, I put aside something special, on the off chance that somebody'd search out those data pads for me. Well, don't keep me in
見たらいいんだよ
suspense.
な。パート2。
The geothermal plant? Now that is just incredible! You really went exploring down there? Adelaide always... 2 whole data pads? Be still my beating... What's on your mind? Couple months. This camp's my home. People you see milling about, they're my family. At least I think of them that way. I owe them my life. Would have died in the wilderness if they hadn't chanced upon me, starving and delirious. We all left the cannery for one reason or another. Me? I was let go, mostly on account of my incompetence. I mean, I was incompetent. I couldn't even survive on my own. Grace found me, Adelaide took me in, I've been on my feet ever since.
You weren't incompetent. You just didn't fit the cannery. Not like here. This place had a U-shaped hole, and now it doesn't.
You could stay, you know. Here. I'd be happy to... I mean, we could really use... this isn't coming out right. If you want, Adelaide would make a place for you.
もう行くよ。いや、どうも。
You hungry? We got canid ribs, canid flank, canid snout too. Something I can help you with? You mean Zoe? Yeah, we were pretty close. Not like her to go loping off. Zoe and I were gonna watch the serials, as is our custom. She never turned up. I looked around, but she was nowhere to be found. You sound like some type of corporate fixer asking all these questions. Zoe was always obsessed with this serial. Masked Marketeer. A scion of Byzantium turns to banditry and teaches his marauder companions the wisdom of free market economics. Shame she up and vanished when she did. I had a surprise lined up for her. Can't say I recall Zoe ever acting strange. Well, except for her habit of writing things down on scraps of paper. She called it journaling, but I think it's just plain odd. The other day, I got my hands on a genuine copy of the latest Masked Marketeer. I was gonna surprise Zoe with it, but she was gone the next day. Hey, I got time. I'll help if I can.
こん中入れんの？入れんだ。これか。おい、十分だ。私はもうエッジウォーターはいらない。工場を見たくない。ジャンプスーツもグローブもかしこまらしてはもう一つどうですかなんてセリフもたくさんだ。なんでこんなものを書いて文字に残しているか自分でもよくわからない。なぜなら缶詰工場は大嫌いだったし。遠い将来この日記を読み返し、あの頃はベールが大嫌いだったなんていうこともないだろうか。理由は病気になったからだ。病気は誰でもなるものだ。病気になってちょっとばかしが誰のタイム飲みすぎたんだ。でもそれって本当に犯罪なのか。病気の時は治療しないとそうだろう。気が好きに今を貸してきたし、自分の力だけで生きてきたらどうだろう。でも誰のタイムは一箱を吹き、一箱ただで絶対刃が使えたなんて。素晴らしいんだ。まだあるな。なんか盗んだな。これついにこの人が来たぞ。ゾイ。レクサス作業員について話していたのにした。レクサス社に仲間に入ろうとしたの。やってんな。やってるぞあいつ。やってますよ。
What is it?
ああ、ないか。教えることはないか。なんかある。言うよね。
Keep him quiet.
くありませんよ。死体どこ？あれ、死体どこ行った？あ、これか。まあいいんだ。人間の死体が消えてるけど、まあいっか。
Okay, here we go.
ちょうだ。
We did it. I don't know anybody who ever came out this far.
これ安くない？これさすがに。敵結構いた気がすんだよな。どこにいんだろう。味方が全部殺した説あるから。
Always wanted to say that.
プラズムカッター。 ずうまかった。133。いたね。
Wow! You put those marauders in the dirt quicker than the masked marketeer. Teach me your ways. What? You mean Adelaide's little congregation of nature-loving nobodies? I could not possibly be less interested in them. You, on the other hand, you were a sight to behold. If I had half your skills, I'd be the greatest outlaw the coast has ever seen.
ちょっと確認したいことがある。
I'm great at clarifying.
君はホレンなのか。
No. I insinuated myself into their company, see? And they didn't seem to mind one whit. I may have bartered them a few boxes of Adrena time, but yeah, I'm sure that's got nothing to do with it.
やっぱ盗んだんじゃないか、お前。
I don't know. The vital processes that constitute the miracle of life are mysterious and unknowable. Oh, you mean around these guys? The marauders wouldn't hurt me. They love me. I'm practically their queen. Yeah, must be my natural charisma. I've got all the time in Halcyon.
君は探して。
Why? Adelaide wants me back on garden duty or something? Thanks, but I'm not going anywhere. This is where I belong.
説得もっとがいい。
I doubt that. Nobody in that camp really cared about me. Yeah, I suppose you're right. Also, he could carry on a conversation, unlike these hooligans. I'll take my stuff and head on back, I suppose. Grace is gonna be glaring knives at me, so I've got that to look forward to.
手のひらくるくる。
Who goes?
Stand and deliver! I wanted to say that.
おお。
Ah, no encore?
びっくりしたマジ。 黒いって。 アーマー壊れかけてるもしかして。 なんもなさそう。 危ねえ。 食らってねこれ。食らってねよ。食らっちゃってんだよ。あぶねえこの町。何あの先気になるんだけど。トラベルできるよねここ。
Got it. Heads down. All together. Got him. Where'd they go? Everyone all right?
あれだよな、街だよな。回ってきた感じか。よし、戻るか。
What is it? We didn't always get along, but I'm glad to know she's safe. What happened, anyway?
들으면こっちがいいか。
You pretty much did my job for me. Least I could do is pay you for your trouble. Let me know if I can do something for you.
ちの方が使えると思うんだよな。2階にあるのか。
Any luck finding one of those manuals? No kidding! Really? Well, which one? Ain't that just ironical? If I'd worked a little longer back at the cannery, I might have found this myself. That's a complete set! All 3 parts! I'm gonna be the greatest engineer Halcyon's ever seen. Aside from you, Ms. Parvati, I swear, I'll do you proud.
I'm glad we could help, Thomas.
I've been saving something for you. Just a little contraption I found. Should fit right into your outfit.
바르바티 요소. 聞こえるんだけど。やば。一旦セーブしとこう。うお。めっちゃアイテムあるやん。これボクシングクエストか。日記。見えないのか。どうしよっかな。どっちの電力を